Hi students, welcome back. This is Suganti ma'am. I believe that you all understood what and all I taught in the last video. Okay, and today we are going to continue the lesson. Before that, one small recap on what we learned in the last video. Okay, so last session we learnt about books, biographics and autobiographics, isn't it? So today we are just going to recall the names of the books and the author names. Okay, so first book is Tabakat-i-Nazari, written by Minhaj-us-Siraj. Very good. Minhaj-us-Siraj. Very good. Taj-ul-Mazar, written by Hasan Nizami. And third book is Tariq-i-Firoz Shahi, written by Ziaud Barni. And the fourth book is Tariq-i-Frishta, written by Frishta. And the fifth book is Babarnama, written by Babar. The sixth book is Ain-i-Akbari and Akbarnama, written by Abul Fazl. And the seventh book Tusk-i-Jahangiri and written by Jahangir. And the eighth book is Tariq-i-Badauni and written by Badauni. Hope you all learnt this, isn't it? Okay, fine. And today we are going to continue with the secondary sources, the last point. What is the last point? Very good. Travelers and travelogues. So who is called travelers? The people who is visiting the different countries. Okay, who is visiting different countries is known as the travelers. Okay, and travelogues means when they are visiting the different countries, they are writing about the people of that country and their cultures and their religions and their habit of food, etc. Everything they are recording as a document. That documents are known as travelogues. Can you understand, children? So travelers and travelogues. Travelers-na யாருன்னா ஒவ்வொரு கண்ட்ரிக்கு அவங்க வந்து விசிட் பண்ணி அந்த கண்ட்ரீஸில் இருக்கிற அந்த மக்களோட வாழ்க்கை முறை, அவங்களோட கலாச்சாரம், இது எல்லாத்தையுமே வந்து அவங்க எழுத்து மூலமாக எழுதி வச்சுருக்காங்க. அதை தான் நம்ம travelogues அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறோம். சரியா? In this session we are going to see about different travelers who visited our country in the period of medieval India. Clear, children? Yes. First we are going to see about Marco Polo. What is the name? Marco Polo. Look at the picture, children. He is Marco Polo. So he is from Venice country. Okay, now I am going to read the points. Listen me carefully. Okay, the first point is Marco Polo, a Venetian traveler, visited when the Pandya kingdom was becoming the leading Tamil power in the 13th century. So when Marco Polo visited Tamil Nadu in the 13th century during the kingdom of Pandya. Okay, when Pandya rulers ruled our Tamil Nadu, Marco Polo came to Tamil Nadu. Okay, so next point, Marco Polo was twice in Kayal, which was a port city presently in Thoothukudi district of Tamil Nadu. It was full of ships from Arabia and China. So when Marco Polo visited Tamil Nadu, he first came to Kayal. Kayal is the city which is there in Thoothukudi now in Tamil Nadu. Okay. When he visited, he said that he can see the ships from Arabia and China. So what can we understand from this? In that 13th century in Tamil Nadu, we had trade with Arabia and China through sea route, isn't it? ஸோ அவர் வந்து மார்க்கோ போலோ வந்து காயல் அப்படிங்கிற சிட்டி இப்போ தூத்துக்குடி டிஸ்ட்ரிக்டில் இருக்குது. அங்கே வந்து அவர் ஃபஸ்ட்டு இறங்கியிருக்காரு. அப்போ அவர் அந்த அந்த காயல் துறைமுகத்தை பற்றி சொல்லும்போது அந்த துறைமுகத்தில் நிறைய கப்பல்கள் அரேபியால இருந்தும் சீனால இருந்தும் வந்து இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காரு. அப்போ அது மூலம் நம்ம என்ன தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம்? 13th செஞ்சுரியில் நம்ம தமிழ்நாட்டில் இருக்க அரசர்கள் வந்து ஒரு கடல் வழி வாணிகத்தில் ஈடுபட்டு இருந்தாங்க. அதுவும் அரேபியா அண்ட் சைனாவோட அவங்க பிஸ்னஸ் டீலிங்ஸ் வச்சுருந்தாங்க அப்படிங்கிறது நம்ம இந்த மார்கோ போலோவோட ட்ராவல் குறிப்பிலேருந்து, தட் இஸ் ட்ராவலோக்ஸ்லேருந்து நமக்கு தெரியுது. ஓகேவா? வெரி குட். த நெக்ஸ்ட் பாயிண்ட் இஸ் மார்கோ போலோ டெல்ஸ் us that he himself came by a ship from China. So how he came to Tamil Nadu? He came to Tamil Nadu by ship from China. Very good. Next point is, according to Marco Polo, thousands of horses were imported into southern India by sea from Arabia and Persia. So in his travelogue, he said that thousands of horses, they are imported from southern India. They were imported to southern India by sea from Arabia and Persia. அதாவது ஆயிரக்கணக்கான குதிரைகளை வந்து எங்கேருந்து அவங்க வந்து இறக்குமதி பண்ணியிருக்காங்க? அரேபியால இருந்தும் பர்ஷியால இருந்தும் சவுத் இந்தியாவுக்கு, அதாவது நம்ம தமிழ்நாட்டுக்கு வந்து ஆயிரக்கணக்கான குதிரைகளை வந்து அரேபியால இருந்தும் பர்ஷியாவில் இருந்தும் சவுத் இந்தியாவுக்கு இறக்குமதி பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. கிளியர் சில்ட்ரன்? எஸ். ஸோ மார்க்கோ போலோ ஃப்ரம் வேர் ஹி கேம்? ஃப்ரம் வெனிஸ். த நேம் ஆஃப் த கண்ட்ரி இஸ் வெனிஸ். So where he landed first? In the city of Kayal, which is there in Thoothukudi district in Tamil Nadu. Very good. Next we are going to learn about Al-Biruni. What is the name? Al-Biruni. Look at the picture, children. He is Al-Biruni. I am going to read the points. Listen me carefully, children. First point is, Al-Biruni accompanied Muhammad of Ghazni in one of his campaigns and stayed in India for 10 years. So how he came to India? Actually, he came with Muhammad of Ghazni. When Muhammad of Ghazni came to India, he also came with him and stayed in India for 10 years. The next point, the most accurate account of Muhammad's Somnath expedition is that of Al-Biruni. When Muhammad of Ghazni captured Somnath city, Al-Biruni was there with Muhammad. So he recorded everything accurately, what and all happened in that particular time. So the most accurate account of Muhammad's Somnath expedition is that of Al-Biruni. In the கஜினி முகமது வந்து சோம்நாத் சிட்டி மேலே படையெடுத்து போகும்போது அதை கேப்சர் பண்ணும்போது அவரோட அல்பெருனி இருந்ததால அங்க நடந்த விஷயங்களை வந்து தெளிவா தன்னோட டிராவலோக்ல ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. தெளிவா தன்னோட வரலாற்று குறிப்புல அதை பதிவு பண்ணியிருக்காரு. ஓகேவா? The next point is, as learned man and a scholar, he traveled all over India trying to understand India and the people. He is a learned man, well-educated person and also a knowledgeable person. So what he did means, he traveled all over India, not only in one place, he traveled all over India and trying to get understanding India and their people. He wants to know more about Indian people. So he gathered so many informations about the people and he noted everything in his book. He learned Sanskrit and studied the philosophy of India. So he learned Sanskrit. In that medieval time, Sanskrit was the popular language, isn't it? Today, so many people not speaking Sanskrit, but in that time, medieval period, so many people spoke Sanskrit. Okay, he learned Sanskrit and studied the philosophy of India. What is philosophy? தத்துவங்கள்னு சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா? அந்த பீரியடில் இந்தியாவில் இருந்த நிறைய அறிஞர்கள் சொன்ன எல்லா வகையான தத்துவங்களையும் இவர் படிச்சிருக்காரு. ஓகேவா? இன் ஹிஸ் புக் தாஹுக் ஐ ஹிந்த் Al-Biruni discussed the Indian conditions, systems of knowledge, social norms and religions. So what is the name of his book? Tarikh-i-Hind. What is the name? Tarikh-i-Hind. This is the name of the book written by Al-Biruni, and in this book he discussed about the Indian conditions, system of knowledge. Indian conditions means how the people lived in India and their system of knowledge, the knowledge of the people, and social norms, what and all the cultures they followed, and their religions and their belief in God. Everything he noted in his book, which is called Tarikh-i-Hind. Clear, children? So shall we read the points once again? Yes, very good. What is the name of the traveler? Al-Biruni. When he came to India? 11th century. With whom he came? Muhammad of Ghazni. Very good. How long he stayed in India? 10 years. Very good. The most accurate account of Muhammad's Somnath expedition is that of Al-Biruni. Okay, next point. As learned man and a scholar, he travelled all over India trying to understand India and the people. So he travelled all over India to understand the culture of Indian people. And which language he learnt? Sanskrit. Very good. And also learnt the philosophy of India. And what is the name of his book? Tarikh-i-Hind. Isn't it? What he discussed in that? Indian conditions, systems of knowledge, social norms and religion. Very good. Next we are going to see about Ibn Battuta. What is the name? Ibn Battuta. So look at the picture, children. He is called Ibn Battuta. I am going to read the points one by one. Listen me carefully. Ibn Battuta, an Arab-born Morocco scholar, travelled from Morocco right across North Africa to Egypt and then to Central Asia and then India. If you look at the map, he almost covered most of the parts of the world. Most part of the world. So where he started his travel? He travelled from Morocco. Okay, which is there in Africa continent. So he started from Morocco and travelled to North Africa, to Egypt and then Central Asia and then finally he came to India. The next point is his travelogue Rihla contains rich details about the people and the countries he lived. So what is the name of his book? Rihla. Okay, what is the name of the book? Rihla was the book written by Ibn Battuta. The meaning of the word is the travels. What is the meaning of the word? The travels. In that book, he detailedly explained about the people of different countries where he visited. ஸோ எந்த கண்ட்ரிக்கெலாம் அவர் போனாரோ அங்கே இருக்கிற பீப்புள் பற்றின எல்லா விஷயங்களையும் அவரோட இந்த ரிஹ்லா அப்படிங்கிற புக்கில் வந்து அவர் நோட் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. ஓகேவா? நெக்ஸ்ட், அக்கார்டிங் டு ஹிம் Egypt was rich then because of the whole of the Indian trade with the West passed through it. So according to him, Egypt was rich then. அந்த காலத்தில் வந்து ஈஜிப்ட் தான் ரொம்ப பணக்கார நாடாக இருந்திருக்கு. ஏன்னா இந்தியாவில் இருக்கிற எல்லா வாணிகங்களும் எல்லா பிஸ்னஸும் வந்துட்டு ஈஜிப்ட் வழியாக தான் நடந்திருக்கு. அதனால அவர் ஈஜிப்ட் வந்து ஒரு பணக்கார நாடாக அவர் தெளிவுபடுத்தியிருக்காரு. நெக்ஸ்ட் பாயிண்ட், Ibn Battuta tells of caste in India and the practice of sati. So in his book he also mentioned about caste in India. Caste நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம்? ஜாதின்னு சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? அதுதான் casteன்னு சொல்றாங்க. So in that period of medieval India, we are having so many number of caste. So our society is divided into so many caste. And also the practice of sati. Do you know what is sati, ma? Sati means when the husbands died, the wife also forced to sit on the funeral pyre. Isn't it? That is called sati. Satiனா என்னமா? ஹஸ்பண்ட் இறந்துட்டாங்க அப்படின்னா அவங்களோட சிதையிலி, அதாவது அவங்கள எரிக்கும் போது அவங்க ஒய்ஃபையும் சேர்த்து எரிப்பாங்க இல்லையா? அந்த ஒரு ப்ராக்டிஸை தான் வந்து சதின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஒரு காலத்தில் இந்தியாவில் அதை ஃபாலோ பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. அந்த சதி கூட இபின் பட்டூடா அவரோட புக்கில் மென்ஷன் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. ஸோ இபின் பட்டூடா டெல்ஸ் அஸ் ஆஃப் caste in India and the practice of sati. Next one is, we learn from him that Indian merchants were carrying on a brisk trade in the foreign ports and Indian ships in the seas. He explains about our Indian merchants, how they have a brisk trade with the foreign ports. அதாவது மற்ற நாடுகளோட எப்படியெல்லாம் நம்மளோட இந்திய வணிகர்கள் வந்து எவ்வளோ ஒரு சுறுசுறுப்பான ஒரு வணிகத்தை மேற்கொண்டாங்க அப்படிங்கிறத வந்து நம்ம இவரோட புக்ஸ்ல இருந்து தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம். ஓகேவா? ஸோ வி லேர்ன் ஃப்ரம் ஹிம் தட் இந்தியன் மர்ச்சன்ட்ஸ் வேர் கேரிங் ஆன் எ பிரிஸ்க் ட்ரேட் இன் ஃபாரின் போர்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் இந்தியன் ஷிப்ஸ் இன் த சீஸ். Next point, he describes the city of Delhi, a vast and magnificent city. So in his book, what he is telling about Delhi? Delhi is very vast. That means it's very large and magnificent. It's a wonderful city. Like that, he is giving points about Delhi. But what happened later? Those were the days when Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq transferred his capital from Delhi to Devagiri, which is there in Daulatabad in south, converting this city into a desert. So in that period, when Ibn Battuta said that Delhi is a vast and magnificent city, at the same time, Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq transferred his capital from Delhi to Devagiri. So what happened when Muhammad bin Tughlaq changed his capital to south, the people in that city, Delhi, also they migrated to Devagiri. So obviously what happened to Delhi? It's become like desert. Okay. So the last point என்ன சொல்றாங்க? முகமது பின் துக்ளக் வந்துட்டு அவரோட கேபிட்டலை டெல்லியிலேருந்து தேவகிரிக்கு மாற்றின உடனே அங்கே இருக்கிற மக்களும் எல்லாருமே என்ன பண்ணிட்டாங்க? தேவகிரிக்கு மாறி போயிட்டாங்க. அப்போ வந்து என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு? டெல்லி பாலைவனம் மாதிரி மாறிடுச்சு. ஓகேவா? பட் அதுக்கு முன்னாடி முகமது பின் துக்ளக் வந்து அவரோட கேபிட்டலை மாத்துறதுக்கு முன்னாடி டெல்லி வந்து ஒரு மிகச்சிறந்த நகரமாக விளங்குச்சு அப்படின்னு சொல்லி இபின் பட்டூடா அவரோட வரலாற்று குறிப்பில் நமக்கு சொல்லியிருக்காரு. Clear, children? So whom about we learnt now? Ibn Battuta. Very good. He is from which country? Morocco. He is from Morocco. And then what is the name of the book he written? Rihla. Very good. So according to him, which country was rich then? Egypt. Very good. In his books, what and all the practices he mentioning? The caste and the sati. Super. Very good. The next we are going to see about other travelers who and all visited South India during the Vijayanagar Empire, during the period of Vijayanagar Kingdom. Clear? In the south, Vijayanagar had many foreign visitors who left behind their detailed accounts of the state. So the visitors who and all visited South India in the period of Vijayanagar Kingdom, they left so many details about the kingdom. Okay, the first, Niccolo Gondi. Niccolo Gondi, who came from Italy in 1420, and Abdul Razzaq, who came from Herat, is the court of Great Khan in Central Asia. And in the year 1443, he came to India. And Domingo Paez, a Portuguese travelers, visited in the city in 1522. So these travelers, that is Niccolo Gondi, Abdul Razzaq and Domingo Paez, visited South India during the period of Vijayanagar Kingdom. Clear? And they recorded so many observations about the Vijayanagar Empire. All of them recorded their observations, which are very useful for us today to know the glory of Vijayanagar Empire. So what and all they recorded about Vijayanagar Empire are the great source for us to know about them. Clear, children? So what and all the names? Niccolo Gondi, who came from Italy in the year of 1420, and the name Abdul Razzaq came from Heart in the year of 1443, and Domingos Paes, who came from Portuguese in the year of 1522. Very good. Now small recap. I'm going to tell you the names of the travelers again. Clear? First we read about Marco Polo, a Venetian traveler, and then Al-Biruni came to India with Muhammad of Ghazni, who written the book Tariq-i-Hind, and Ibn Battuta, an Arab-born Morocco scholar, who written the book Rihla. And next is Niccolo Conti, an Italian traveler, and Abdul Razzaq, who came from Heart, Domingos Paes, a Portuguese traveler. Very good, children. This is the worksheet for you. This is 5th worksheet, and these questions I have taken from your book back exercise only. Clear? So first I'm going to read the questions. You just listen carefully and you have to write the answers in your book. Clear? The first Roman number is choose the correct answer. So dash, an Arab-born Morocco scholar traveled from Morocco to India. So you have to mark the name. And next, fill in the blanks. An Italian traveler dash visited Vijayanagar Empire in 1420. And next, state true or false. Domingos Paes, a Portuguese traveler, visited the Chola Empire in 1522. So, read the question again carefully when I am taught about Domingos Paes, and then mention whether it is true or false. Next, Roman number 4th, find out the wrong pair. They are given some name of the book and the author who written that. You have to find out which one wrongly matched. Okay, first book is Madura Vijayam, written by Ganga Devi, and next the name of the author is Abul Fazil, and the name of the book is Aini Akbari, and next the name of the traveler Ibn Battuta, and the name of the book Tariq-i-Hind, and the name of the book is Amukta-Malyata, written by Krishna Devaraya. You have to find which one wrongly paired. Clear, children? And the next Roman number 5, answer the following. Mention the important foreign travelers who visited India during the medieval period. So I already in the recap I have given. You just look at this. Clear, children? So you have to answer for this worksheet and you have to write it in your note. If you are having any doubt, you can rewind the video and once again you can watch the video. Even you are not understanding, you can call me or message me. Clear, children? And also finally you have to write home test also. Clear? Thank you for watching this video. Thank you once again. Bye.